as you guys have seen, it is a rainy day today. I have my hot chocolate to keep me nice and toasty. Personally, I am not a fan of rain. I don't like being rained on. I hate how there's water everywhere when you open your car door. Luckily, I live in Southern California where it doesn't rain a lot. I can't imagine being somewhere where it actually does rain a lot. But to me, when it rains, it feels like it's a continuous thing. But on the bright side, you know who does love rain? Plants. My plants love the rain. As plant parents are wont to do, we sacrifice a lot for our plants. So I have created a rainy day routine. Whenever it rains, I will take all of my plants outside and just let them soak it all up. And I do have a lot of plants, so it does take a while. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the rainy day routine, and it's gonna be a really fun time. If you guys like the video and want to see some more plant content, you can click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. Let's jump right into it. Like, imagine jumping into puddles. Okay. The first thing I do is when I notice there's rain, I will check my weather app to see if it's even worth it to dedicate the time to take all my plants outside. Because if it only ends up raining for about an hour and I spent all that time taking my plants outside, then it was not worth it because the plants aren't even going to be fully watered. I noticed it was raining at around midnight, so I decided to move my outdoor plants from under the porch to an area where they could catch the rainwater. In the morning, I decided to move the plants that spent the night out in the rain back under the porch and move some other thirsty plants out into the rain. Not only is rainwater really good for your plants to soak up and drink it all in, but it also cleans the dirty leaves, so you don't have to do a single thing. So this is what my shelf currently looks like. I already started moving around some plants. We got to put them outside in the rain, and you can see right here is the shelf that I need to build. So while everything is empty, I'm going to be able to clean and put my shelf up and reorganize everything once we bring it back in. Moving an entire shelf of plants from inside my room to outside in the rain is definitely the most time-consuming thing that I have to do, but it's the part that the plants love the most. So usually if there's like a week long of rain, I'll split it up during those days because it makes it much easier. I turned the light on so you guys could see what we have left. I didn't want to bring my orchids outside or my African violets because they do not like to be wet. For the orchids, I'm worried about getting water stuck inside between the leaves. Usually in the wild, orchids are hanging upside down, so that's not really an issue. And then, yeah, that's it. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind, which plants can be outside in the rain. Now I just have all of these trays and everything. Oh, by the way, since it's so cold outside, you probably have your heater on, and that's a good time to be using a humidifier. I couldn't use my humidifier because I guess it had like bacteria or mold or something growing inside of it to parts that I couldn't reach because I didn't wash it often enough. And someone in the comments said to run a cycle of vinegar through it, and it actually worked. So my humidifier is good to go again. What I did was I literally just filled the whole entire thing with vinegar. I think I added a little bit of water because I didn't have enough vinegar, and I just put it outside and I let it run the whole time, the whole thing of vinegar. And then I rinsed it all out. I got rid of any musty, crusty stuff that was inside, and I put it outside and run it with water. So now it's great, it's working again. So pro tip, if your humidifier makes you sick, run vinegar through it and it'll all be fixed. So you definitely do want to be cleaning your humidifier out weekly. I think I was doing it like every 2 or 3 weeks instead of weekly, and it's not good. It's not good to do that. So let's get cleaning the shelf while the plants are outside soaking up water. Rainy days are definitely a great time to take advantage of your empty shelf if you put your plants outside. You can't really go outside anyways because it's raining, so why not spend the time cleaning your empty shelf, your humidifier, taking care of anything that you need to deep clean, since it's so much easier to deep clean when there's nothing in your way. This was how bad my shelves looked after wiping away all the dirt and dead leaves. Yeah, it was really bad, so I definitely should be cleaning more often. Normally, when I clean my plant shelves, I don't use harsh chemicals like window cleaner or like glass cleaner. But since all my plants were gone and out of the way, I was able to use glass cleaner and get in there real good. I usually just go through with an all-purpose spray, but this time I was able to get in there with a glass cleaner, and the shells came out a lot shinier than they usually do. An empty shelf is also a lot easier to move than when it has a lot of plants in it, so I could finally get to the back of the shelf, sweep away all of that soil, and get rid of any dust bunnies that decided to live back there. I don't think I ever cleaned the top of this shelf since I put it up, so as you can imagine, it was disgusting. It was probably the grossest part of the shelf that I cleaned. And after having a nice and neat plant area, I was able to go back outside and set up my plants out there. One thing you should keep in mind when you're deciding if you're gonna put plants out or not is how cold it is, because right now it's only 46 degrees and it's not gonna go below 40 degrees. So I keep my plants out here all year round because it doesn't get too cold. I don't think it's too bad bringing my plants in and out, but if you live in an area that's really cold, I don't know, I would keep an eye on my plants because it might be a shock for them. These are the plants that are out here. There's not many of the indoor ones out here yet because I wanted to finish watering whatever was out here, and it's been raining pretty consistently. It hasn't been drizzling, it's been like legit rain. So I'm gonna move these out of the way and we're gonna bring the indoor plants out here for their time to shine. Like I mentioned earlier, there are some plants that I don't think should go out in the rain. For example, some plants include the orchids and African violets. Like I mentioned, African violets don't like their leaves to get wet, and plants that could get water caught inside their leaves and you generally don't want their foliage to be wet are good plants to keep inside during this time. And I would also count caudex plants as plants to keep inside. There's also some plants that I did need to take out of the rain. I had my spineless cactus propagations that were not ready to get wet yet, so I had to move those out of the rain. If you're not able to put any of your plants outside, or they were just recently watered so they don't really need to be in the rain, you can put out some water catching containers. I have this one, which isn't really the best, but it's the one that I had. And you can save the water to use for whenever your plants need it, because rainwater is really good for your plants. Also, when you're placing your plants out and putting your rain bucket out, you want to avoid the runoff areas from the roof, because that water is going to be extremely dirty because your roof is extremely dirty. And I know it catches water a lot more quickly, but do not do it. Do not put your bucket or plants under those areas. These are at least all of the plants inside that were on my shelf. They're gonna stay out here for a while so that the rain can soak in. Quick reminder that if you leave your plants out overnight, to make sure if it's sunny in the morning, move them out of the sun before they burn. That's literally how I burn almost all of my plants. This is how much rainwater I've caught so far. It's not much, but I did it really quickly in the middle of the night, so I'm happy about it. It's starting to rain again, so this is where I'm gonna have to end the video. That is my rainy day routine. I usually spread everything out throughout the whole week, because usually it rains for like a week. Today I just did it in a whole day to film it all for you guys. But let me know if you guys have a rainy day routine with plants, and if you're a rain hater like I am, because a lot of people are always like, how could you hate the rain? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!